Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends X-Men Deathbird and Marvel's Gladiator, and I honestly have no idea what the temperature is on this set. I don't know if people are really excited about this or couldn't care less. They're not exactly A-list characters, but they are characters that have a good spot in the X-Men universe, so I'm guessing people wanted this, at least some, and so I'm thinking it needed to be a pretty decent pack, because it wasn't like a must-have sort of situation for characters. But you guys can let me know if you know otherwise about that. For me, it was like, sure, why not? If they're good enough, I'll be happy to have them. If they're not good, then I'm not going to be terribly upset, but it's a two-pack of things that aren't good, so that sucks. But let's see, maybe it's a really good pack. I know there's at least some really good things here, so let's go ahead and get them off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figures, I do want to show you my package. Good package, nice and square corners, figures front and off-center appropriately. Looks nice. Like, yeah, it's simple. It's a lot of just black ink. I think maybe they could add something to that to make it look nicer, but yeah, I mean, it looks good enough, and I don't collect packages, so I don't care personally. But I know for you in-box collectors, this is a nice side. You know, maybe a little something more visually appealing, just like maybe a gradient or something on the black would be nice. But otherwise, they're good packages. I can't complain about those. I hated, ever since they started doing them, those ones that were curvy. Those modern, recent but not current modern Marvel Legends packages that had the curved, those were annoying. You couldn't stack. Anyway, okay, let's talk about the set. Here's Gladiator. He stands, by the way, this is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. If you want, I'll put a link in the description below. He stands just about 6 and, let's say, 7/8 to his head, to the top of the mohawk, closer to, I don't know, 7 1/4. And she is shorter. She stands to the top of her head. That hair is just nuts. She stands at the top of her head, let's say 5 7/8, and then including the hair and everything, 6 5/8, give or take. Here she is up against good old Darwin. So yeah, Marvel Legends scaling is still what it is. It's about the same. It's good enough. You know, everybody's about the same size in Marvel Legends. I mean, there's like 3 different sizes for the main characters, but that's fine. Okay, so, question of the day. Did you want, like, addressing what I said in the beginning, did you want this 2-pack? Like, are you looking for these figures? Probably less for him, because he's had a few releases, even though they're very dated now. This is the first for her, unless I'm going crazy and don't remember some obscure release. So I'm guessing more people wanted this, and that he had to be good enough to justify a 2-pack. And I don't know if he is, but let's go ahead and get into the aesthetic. We're going to start with Gladiator here. I'll say he's definitely the best release of the characters so far. It's not even close. The old ones have that very, very dated look. They do have some nice features here and there, like the one that had the metallic blue, things like that. There were some good things about it, but this one's definitely better overall. But that is not to say this is an excellent release. We have the cape situation we used to have, where they're not connected in the front, they just peg into the back, and they aren't glued like Maximum Deadpool's harness, so the cape floats on his chest, doesn't fit very well. It does get in the way, and the way they curled it around his feet down here, it's gonna make him very, very annoying to pose. That's super annoying. His upper body is way bigger than his lower body in terms of musculature, especially when they use these giant shoulders that they use that have this ball in here. What was this for originally? Thor, I think, right? I'm pretty sure it was for shirtless Thor. These shoulders make the arms huge, and like it's a good thing for superhero type character, good guy, bad guy, whatever. They're big. He's got a big chest, big shoulders, big arms, and then his legs are just like, It looks like he skips leg day, frankly, and he doesn't have that tape, or like it still looks like a Marvel Legends guy in like a foam suit, kind of. Like, instead of regular cosplay, this is like a foam muscle cosplay thing. He has gigantic hands, which would be fine, I guess, if they accounted for them, but they're just really, really big hands that seem too big for his body, because Marvel Legends don't typically have that. All of the suit details are painted on. The boots, or whatever you want to call, I guess you call it boots, that's painted on, this is painted on, this is all painted on, and a lot of it I could get away with, but the belt is painted on also. It is just a blank body with the skinniest lower legs. Like, he's just so goofy looking. I mean, it's one of their better sculpts, I guess, but it's still goofy. It just seems so cheap and undercooked. The reds don't match here, the blues don't match here. It's your run-of-the-mill Marvel Legends. The cape is a really soft sculpt. It doesn't look particularly good. He's fine, though. Let's talk about the head, though. Because there's a lot of sculpted detail in there, and that's technically well done, but he's got a lot of wrinkles in his face. And they decided to put shading on him, so he looks about 80 years old in the face. He looks like a muscular 80-year-old. And like I said, technically it's all applied well, sculpted well, but I don't know. The way the hair sticks out at the sideburns too, it's kind of weird. It looks like he's wearing a toupee, I guess, a really, really bad toupee. But the mohawk is nice. So I don't know. I'm guessing most people aren't real thrilled with this guy. I'm not, and like he's good enough to replace the old one, I guess. But doesn't really do much for me. Now this figure, on the other hand, a character I don't particularly care about, but it's a new one. This is what all Marvel Legends should look like, at least. I mean, I know we're gonna have to reuse more parts than this one is reusing, but it has a lot of different finishes and a lot of sculpted detail that makes it unique. The cape is actually surprisingly well done. It looks pretty darn good. There's not that much paint on this figure, but using the different plastics and what little paint they did use, it looks nice. The cape is actually connected up here. The tubers are well done, connecting into her back and into her arms. They painted the fingernails, which it's like, yeah, okay, it's better than not doing it, but it doesn't look very good. But yeah, what's there that is painted is decent. The different finishes in the plastics look nice. General proportioning looks nice. Even her figure, her shape isn't terrible. Like she's still slender and that's whatever, but she generally looks pretty good. In the head sculpt, not bad at all. The face, both the sculpt and the paint have the right balance of realism and comic book look. This guy is like borderline too realistic because of all the tiny wrinkles and features that doesn't match the rest of the figure. Like, if you're going to do that, and that's fine, if you want to try to bring these characters to life, that's fine, but it doesn't match. The bodies have no detail on them at all, practically speaking, and then the heads are just way over detailed. So this strikes the right balance, if you ask me. That's the perfect blend of realism. And then her hair is nicely done. I mean, not the style. I wouldn't go with that style personally, but it's well sculpted. So that's good. So yeah, she looks really, really nice. There's a whole lot less for me to say about her because it's just a lot of good stuff. I mean, on top of the Marvel Legends slender physiques, which suits her well enough anyway, so that's fine. But if every Marvel Legends, like all of the good ones, not the throwaway figures that are just blank bodies because you can get away with it for that character, like all the good ones that deserve to have new sculpts because of the character design looked like this or even close to this, I don't think Hasbro would even have a bad reputation because this is perfectly acceptable. Granted, the accessory count is maybe not going to live up to the standard, but as far as the core figure goes, this is a really strong release for Hasbro, and this is another run-of-the-mill blank body with paint on it release, which is just not going to cut it. So aesthetically, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. There's just nothing there. And for this one, it's going to get a 9 out of 10 for Hasbro Marvel Legends. And as a 2-pack, well, you can figure that out for yourself. I wouldn't necessarily average it because you're forced to buy what may be considered a turd by some people to buy this figure, which is good. I don't know how you would balance that out. She's definitely got a higher weight to her, I think. But then you have to pay for him too, so he's got a higher weight to him, so you can figure that out however you want. Now, as far as accessories go, she comes with 0. Unless you want to say she comes with his accessories because she's very nice and will provide them for him. She gets 0 accessories, so that sucks big time. And he gets just 2 fist hands to go on his wrists instead of the hands that are maybe not so useful. And he does have an alternate head, which is, I have to say, pretty darn good. I like that a lot. It looks really nice. It still has the extra details that maybe you don't want to add to the body that doesn't have any details. But it's a good looking head sculpt, and I love the little eye effects. So he would get like a 6 out of 10 for accessories. It's the bare minimum. She gets a 0 out of 10 because she gets none. Now, maybe she doesn't need them, technically speaking, but it's still, what are we paying for? It all went into her new details, which is like fine, except for the fact that most companies don't charge you for making new figures, because that's like what they do for a living. That's their job. They make new figures. So it's weird that you have to pay extra for that with Hasbro, and they pull things away to make up for it. So it's just a strange thing. All right, let's move on to the articulation. We'll start with him because we can get him out of the way real fast. We've seen it all before. The cape sucks. Let's just get rid of the cape. It sits funny, it gets in the way, and it doesn't like to be pegged in. Oh yeah, his neck doesn't match his head. Right? It's too hard to do that. Also, he seems very saturated. Almost every version of him has been closer to this color and paler, lighter even. He's very purple. He looks like what are those raisins that used to have commercials? California raisins. Shoulders, we've seen these before. Limited range and goofy look. You could argue it's traps, or I mean lats, but it's not. And I see the benefit in the sculpt, but the articulation isn't there, and the sculpt is actually not better for most situations other than putting the arm straight down. Bicep swivel is there. Double jointed elbow. Ugh, very stiff, but it does work. Story of my life. Wrist swivel is fine. Wrist swivel and hinge. Ab crunch on this guy because it's an old body. It's still ugly as all sin. And, I mean, it's functional, but why would you... I can't get over people still defending these. By the way, guys, I haven't had one of these comments in so long, but yesterday on the Punisher review, somebody said, what do you want? It's a $20 figure. It's not a Hot Toys figure. And I'm pretty sure they were being serious. So one, they're not $20 figures anymore. And two, that's the least good faith argument you can make for a Hasbro product because they themselves make better products. And almost every other company does too, for the same price or less. So it's just... Oh man, he got his lines and he read them off the way he was supposed to defend Hasbro. Yeah, so his articulation is technically functional, but it's ugly and goofy, and his hips work well enough, I guess. They're not the best looking things, but they are the bare minimum of what you would need to be an articulated action figure these days. The proportioning is still off with the lower legs being too long. His boot swivel is okay. I mean, it's there, but it's not like the best sculpt, is what I'm getting at. And then the ankle works pretty nicely on this guy. His joints are a lot tighter than I expected them to be. Ankle rocker's a little steep. He's less gummy, too. It feels like they used a harder plastic, which is nice. It's nice to see that because the gummy ones are really annoying. So he is bare bones functional. Not any kind of super articulated figure in any capacity, and what he has there is very antiquated. So he'll get a 7, a generous 7. Now this lady, her cape is connected to her chest, which is a good thing, in a sense, but in another sense, well, you can guess it's going to hurt articulation, but we'll see how much. So for her head, oh, I didn't talk about his head. He's still on that joint, by the way, which is, you know, not good. Okay, so her head, she gets a ball peg, which is nice. We don't often see that, and it does allow her to just move around freely. Now, it doesn't have like a good double ball peg. There's still almost no range, so they still haven't figured that out completely at all, but it's still better because the number of times you need them to look straight up into the sky is a lot fewer than just being able to move the head in a natural way. So, especially with a face like that, you can put her in some nice evil looking laugh poses sort of situation going on type deal thing, so that'll work. Now the cape being connected and her shoulders being under it, you can imagine she's going to have limited posability without just making the cape move around in a weird way, so that's not exactly going to be great. You do get a bicep swivel, you do get the double jointed elbow. Man, their joints are tight lately. You can do it. There's no problem with the tubers. The tubers will get out of the way. The tubers are really, really nicely done. Have to say, very, very pleased with that. It's unfortunate that the cape isn't a softer material or that they accounted for it in some way for posing, but she's not going to have that much upper body posability due to that cape. The wrists do swivel and have a hinge. I don't know that the forearms actually rotate. I don't think they do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the tubers are staying on the sides there regardless. For the diaphragm joint on this one, it goes back a little bit. It goes forward almost zero. Side to side just a little bit. You get your rotation, and that's it. So they didn't add an extra joint down here, and this joint does minimal work. These joints do minimal work. So far, she's basically going to stand there and look good, which I guess is fine, but it's not going to be some kind of exceptional figure in terms of articulation. She kicks pretty high up, but it goes out to the side some. They don't go back really far at all. Out to the side is fine, not splits, but good enough. Thigh swivel is in there. Double jointed knee is in there nicely. That's pretty good. Ankles go all the way back and far enough forward, and you get a decent ankle rocker, so that's pretty good. So she will be enough to be considered an action figure, but you're not going to do much with her. She's going to look pretty good there, and I guess you put her in like a real basic pose and just don't really mess with it ever again because you can't do much else than that. So at least it looks nice. I have to say, it does look nice. Her articulation is going to get a 5 or 6 out of 10 at most. Like, some of it makes sense because of the cape, and I get it, but also they could have tried something. to make it pose a little bit better, and the torso still blows for no reason at all. So I don't know. Time for a final verdict on this. Let's just set that aside. On this 2-pack, is it a really good 2-pack? No. Is it a really bad 2-pack if you wanted both of the characters? No. Average, better than average, but nothing crazy. Like, she's impressive for the sculpt, but they're both underwhelming in every other aspect. So I would not say this is a particularly good 2-pack, but I would not say it's bad either. It's just, it's going to come down to if you want the characters, and that's about it. He's unoffensive, but not good, and she's good in some ways. So I'll give the 2-pack an overall rating of, I'll average it down to 7 out of 10, just because he's kind of garbagey for being decent, and she's pretty good for being garbagey. No, she's not garbagey, she just can't pose and has no accessories. It's a weird thing, because this should have been a really good release, and if it was on its own, it would get a higher rating. And this is just not... Well, you guys heard me say it already. I guess I'm done there. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know, 2-packs are weird, because if you don't want both of them, it's really a bad thing. And if they're both not good figures, then it's even worse. And in my opinion, this guy's just not really worth it. He's better than before, but unless you have a thing for Gladiator, I don't know that he makes enough of a difference to bother with. His legs are just so... Are these the same legs that Cable had? The same wimpy, goofy legs? I think they are. I'm almost positive they are. Maybe they're not. But the legs just look bad. I don't know. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.